fell from the sky, but despite the maddened spirits here, you will benefit. A spirit monk was here long ago, fleeing the destruction that orphaned you. He carried a piece of your amulet. It was separated, broken apart, so your enemies could not find it easily. You have the first piece. It trains your abilities now. The second piece fell here with its minder, hidden until waters receded. A guardian protects it, waiting to test and serve you. The third piece awaits discovery in a distant lair. These three pieces are physical, but there is one more. It cannot be found, only earned. This final piece is all that will save you in the end.
Easy there. You fell flat on your face after the fight. Are you prone to that sort of thing? In the what? Your master taught you some interesting things. Come on, we need to move our camp somewhere that no ghosts attack. I know a clearing just outside of Tien's landing where we can set up camp. The flyer will be safe enough if we leave it here. It's not going to get any worse, that's for certain. Just cross the bridge and head south. Let's get going.
Stop where you are! Death's Hand should know better than to send his minions out alone. It is clear that you are one of his hirelings, or perhaps one of Gao the Greater's marauding pirates. You will pay for the crimes you have committed. Don't waste your last breath on lies. I didn't get there in time to help anyone, but I saw you lead the massacre in Two Rivers. Clearly you were involved. Death's Hand went too far in ordering its destruction, and Gao the Greater sought to profit from it. My retribution will end with them, but it will begin with you. Enough! The way you move seems odd. A flaw I cannot see, perhaps? But you are better than I expected. You might even beat me if I allowed such insolence. You are too skilled to be just a hireling. Death's Hand would view such ability outside his assassins as dangerous, and Gao the Greater prefers his servants docile. So it would appear you lack their branding, but if you are not one of them, who are you? A monk? A mercenary? A bandit? You chase a great evil, larger than you realize. Leave and you may survive. Others have tried to face Death's Hand, but were destroyed, as Two Rivers was. Your honor sends you toward peril, but you do not flinch from it. A trait of fools, and perhaps the occasional hero. I also seek answers from Death's Hand and his minions. If you truly oppose him, you will need to find your way to the Imperial City. Of course, only the Lotus Assassins can come and go as they please, thanks to Gao. Travel routes by land and water are blocked, but they use wind maps and flyers to further their goals here and in the surrounding forest. Perhaps, if you are capable, we will meet again. I wish you good luck, but you will need far more than that to survive. Farewell.
There you are. I'm sorry, I didn't want to wait back there any longer. I don't think anything will hurt the flyer. It's plenty hurt already. I found this gem in the wreckage. I'm not sure what it was attached to, but I'm sure you can use it for something.
Now that we're here, we should see if anyone knows anything about flyers. Maybe whoever is in charge of the town can help us get underway again.
Unless you need me, I will stay here at this new camp. It seems safe enough, and it may as well serve as a base for us. I can't believe Two Rivers is gone. It was home. The people there were the only family I've known, and now they're all gone.
I understand, Dawnstar, but the path you are on may lead to even darker places. You must prepare yourself.
I don't want to think like that. We will set things right. We have to.
Returning your friends was never an option, but there are a great many more things that you can lose.
Nara Irfonia wonu kanawa ofa ir kanawa wonu.
Mother and I are getting out of this town. If you have any sense, you'll do the same.
Okwakwak wo sosonia sonokfonia sisaya nawakok. Sisaya ifok woso no koso ayeria. Sayer kanoa faranuya.
It's sure to be more exciting than this dead place.
Koni okioya kawaya wo kawaya watita osia kwanif nipawiya. Piayer uksayer sinini sisayer rusta atapafawer sumpuno ko suir toerok. Ukir nepo sise sayer wosayer nifuyer. Sisayer ifok woso no koso ayeria. Sayer kanoa faranuya. Woyer apafawayer sisiyer sisi tuutok. Woyer wakwak finir sier. Okwakwak wo sosonia sonokfonia sisayer nawakok. Wo tawa yer kupia kawia nakawia ibduki.
The pirates are Gal the Greater's men. He has holdings near here, and access to quite a lot of flyers, as you've seen.
Piayer uksayer sinini sisayer rusta atapafawer sumpuno ko suir toerok. Sisayer ifok woso no koso ayeria. Sayer kanoa faranuya. Pawoyer astir wo sayer ifasaya wa kawi shir. Wo tawa yer kupia kawia nakawia ibduki. Wo nipi yer uksayer sisini nisayer vusta. Wo ifu yer uksunuk nokawayer. Ukir nepo sise sayer wosayer nifuyer. Noni wowo sayer tar wowo wir ignisaro kunkna. Noni wowo sayer tar wowo wir ignisaro kunkna. Woyo wir apafawa yer sisi tuutok. Wowo yer wakwak finir sier. Koni okioya kawaya wo kawaya watita osia kwanif nipawiya.
Out of our way, woman. In this town, we don't step aside for you. You step aside for us.
The peasants of this village may cower before you, but I do not. If you are smart, you will apologize for your behavior and walk away.
Don't tell me what to do. You think I won't hit a woman? You have to learn your place. This whole town has to learn its place. What are you looking at? This doesn't concern you. Time to teach you all a lesson.
Longsword!
Hui, what are you doing here?
It's been a long time, Zhu. I haven't seen you since that night. I did as you asked. The child is safe. I made sure of that.
I know. After we spoke, I followed you. I wanted to be sure she was given a good home. You did well, Hui. Hui and I knew each other long ago. She was a soldier and I needed her help. There was a child, an orphan. I knew Hui could find a good home for her. She was just a girl. Her parents were dead. I couldn't look after her, and I knew Hui by reputation, and knew she would find a good home for her. She's safe. That's all you need to know. She doesn't concern you. Besides, we don't have time to worry about something that happened almost 20 years ago.
Yes, those are old worries. Thank you for your actions today. Even if these men were no real threat, just simple sailors frustrated at the shallow river that holds them here. There are pirates in the area, and they pose a far greater danger. You will likely encounter them, especially if you are the one I am waiting for. As Sagacious Zhu mentioned, my name is Hui. Tell me, young woman, what is your master's name? I have waited here many years for the arrival of one special fighter. Your master, Sun Li, bid me to wait until you, his protege, came seeking information.
So it's true. Master Li really is the Emperor's brother. I wish I had known.
He is gone, isn't he? Taken by the Lotus assassins just as he thought. He knew they were always searching. They are right to fear him and his legacy. The glorious strategist was certain the path to the Imperial City would bring you here. He was also very specific about how I present my information to you. You must be ready. I served under Sun Li and was one of a few soldiers he trusted enough to contact after Dirge fell. Li knew the events there would have great consequences. He told me of the weeks-long siege and how spirit monks were slaughtered so his brother could take their temple. It was madness. The Emperor killed the water dragon itself.
The Water Dragon. The shepherd of the dead, a goddess of rebirth. To try and steal her power, to even think it could be attempted. Has any mortal ever shown such arrogance?
There are many beings that exist beyond our experience. The heavens are governed by a celestial bureaucracy. Each facet of existence is managed by a specialized attendant. Most appear to have little influence, but some, like the water dragon, have a portfolio that grants exceptional status. She was said to have governance over the Great Wheel. She was not a maker, but all life that ended passed her gaze before returning to the earth in another form. Sun Hai sought rebirth for his empire at the cost of the natural order. Her body was taken to the palace as a grim trophy of the power that ended the long drought. All the while, the people hailed the Emperor as a hero, ignorant of the price. Even a god is not invincible. They have their place and it can be challenged. Sun Li could not stop the slaughter of the spirit monks. He fled the battle with you in his arms. Most believe Sun Li fell at Dirge, a lie spread by the Emperor. A handful of us knew that he lived, and we also learned the terrible price of his rebellion. Li's wife was with child, his daughter born in the Imperial Palace while he was at Dirge. He never saw her. Within weeks of the siege, the Emperor had Li's family executed.
Executed. Murdered. The Lotus assassins were to cut them down. A mother and newborn child. I have no doubt that order came from Death's Hand himself.
He probably didn't think his family would be harmed, but even had he known, he might still have saved you. Lee knows you have a destiny to fulfill. You're the last of your kind. The natural order has been disrupted. There is much to say, but first I was instructed to impart some very specific knowledge. Your master was very clear. It is time to continue your training, and I am honored to add to the basics that Sun Li instilled. A brief description should reinforce the style you saw me use. Certain lessons had to be withheld until you were ready for the attention they will bring. Sun Li taught me so that I would teach you. I must train you in Spirit Thief. Magic and weapons tire you. Draw on them too much and you could be left defenseless. Spirit Thief restores your chi, prolonging your ability to fight or ignore wounds. It is especially useful when enemies are immune to basic martial attacks, when you must use magic or weapons. It can even immobilize a foe, allowing time to recover even more. This short lesson should be enough for now. Come speak with me in the tea house. We will talk of your master and more.
Yes? Is there something you want? Nothing to concern yourself over. Very old business. I traveled this way when I was fleeing the Lotus Assassins. It was nothing. Some vagrant waif I passed off after making sure its belly was full. A far less surprising turn than what Wei said about your Master Li. I know Hui to be a truthful and honorable person, much more so than I consider myself to be. I do not question her belief, but belief alone is not enough. What if it is true? Much will have to change to accommodate this truth. It means the Emperor lied about Li's death, and he may have assaulted the heavens. The Emperor subject to the common vice of deception. Unthinkable. Perhaps, but that too implies a weakness that the Emperor cannot have. I warn you, this will lead in a dangerous direction for you and Dawnstar. I cannot condone it, but I have agreed to help, and I will. Just don't blame me when the whole world is against you. You will need more than my help. Just try not to endanger your companions. They are not to blame for what your destiny mandates. Now, is there anything else? I am always agitated. It is because of my training. We were taught that we were always being watched, always being stalked. In many cases, it is actually true. You likely have similar feelings. When trained to be as vicious as the assassins, or when you are the protege of a famous master, you tend to attract unwelcome interest. I wonder how you will react to this scrutiny. I also wonder if your fellows will stand by you when the true weight of what you claim becomes known. Once again, I cast doubt upon myself. It seems I am destined to garner suspicion even if my actions remain neutral. The sides of the coming conflict seem very well defined. That will not always be the case. It is sometimes difficult to see the truth behind the actions of others. Enough. I don't have anything else relevant to say. Perhaps I will when I have seen more of what you are capable of and what your master intends. I don't know what else I can do for you right now. If I can help you, I will. But for now, I've got nothing new to offer. Our enemy? The sure sign of an effective fighter is that he has many enemies. Which are you most curious about? A small man. He bears a grudge against the world because his wealth cannot buy him the status he wants. At least that is my estimation of him. If we encounter him in his holdings near Tien's Landing, I doubt he will be very welcoming. Not after he learns the fate of his son. There is little to tell that would affect you now. The assassins are fanatically loyal to Death's Hand, and he uses that influence to do as he wishes. He also controls the Imperial Army, but they are no longer in his favor, it seems. Mere guards in comparison to the assassins. Death's Hand was just beginning his rise to power when I left the Lotus Assassins. I do not know much more about him. You name the Emperor among your personal foils. You have a grand opinion of yourself. Don't be so quick to link Sun High to the destruction you have seen. Death's Hand may still answer to him, but it is a long leap from that to assuming the Emperor approves of what the Lotus Assassins have done. Both of those possibilities will be hard for people to swallow. The Emperor is the Emperor. He is above weakness or viciousness. To question that is to question the nature of the Jade Empire, and not many people are willing to do that. The Emperor is the foundation upon which we build. If he is weakened, we all fall. Goodbye then.
Good, you're here. We can continue where we left off before.
You've got unfinished business with us first.
There are important matters at hand, yet you fellows keep interrupting. I'm surprised you're this eager to get another beating so soon.
This time we brought some friends to even up the odds.
Longsword! I'll improvise. You certainly look like Lee's top student, though there's something odd about how you fight. I can't put my finger on it. It doesn't matter. The sailors won't bother us again. We can get back to business. Sun Lee gave me instructions to await you if anything should happen. I have prepared for this day for well over a decade. The full extent of what the glorious strategist knows is beyond my mind to comprehend. He is without peer. All I know is that I had instructions to wait for you. Sun Lee asked me to seek a piece of a special amulet he wanted you, his prized pupil, to have. It was broken apart and scattered when the Spirit Monk Temple fell. He intended to, and I assume he did, give the main piece to you. Rumor placed a smaller part with a fleeing apprentice monk, but it had been some years and the trail was cold. I eventually learned the monk had fled to Old Tien's landing. He was there a year or so, but died of lingering injuries and was buried with his possessions unsorted. It was rushed at the time because the new dam was due to close and Old Tien's would become a watery tomb. The amulet was beyond reach, so I came here and waited. Now the Lotus Assassins have drained the lake and exposed the ruins of Old Tien's landing. It seems they are searching for this piece of the Spirit Monk amulet too. The Emperor is privy to much. I don't know his motives, but any aid to you is likely a threat to him. You must go to the ruins and find the amulet piece meant for you. My assignment is to give you information to help you acquire the amulet. I will gladly answer whatever questions I can. I only know that I had to find the piece I was tracking. I did so. It is in the ruins. You must find it before the Lotus Assassins do. You will need it to help your master. The gates leading to the ruins are locked, but Minister Shang can give you the key. You can find him in the town square, the highest point in Tien's Landing. I suspect the minister is eager to have someone investigate the opening of the Great Dam. You can use this as an excuse to get the key and explore the ruins. You are wise to ask. It is a difficult but essential skill to master. Spirit Thief is always useful. It is common to get run down or injured during battle, and you can tire yourself even further concentrating your chi to aid yourself. When you are feeling such a drain on your resources, switch to Spirit Thief, and each successful blow will restore you slightly. The drain will not hamper your opponent, however. If you power through an opponent's guard with its strongest attack, it can briefly immobilize an enemy. During this, you can concentrate and increase the restoration. If you use that time to attack with another style, be careful. Your opponent may not be as vulnerable as they seem, and one must never be overconfident of victory. My assignment is to give you information to help you acquire the amulet. I will gladly answer whatever questions I can. Pirates have raided local villages using flyers, swooping down like locusts. Minister Shang said he would stop them, but his promises have done nothing. You can find Shang near his still smoldering office in the center of town. I'm sure he will welcome your assistance, even if your reasons are your own. I am unimportant, but I promised I would aid you as best I can, so ask your questions. There is little to tell. I served him years ago in the Imperial Army. I was a tracker and a soldier. I was not at Dirge when it fell, but I heard the tale of Sun Li's death. But I refused to believe he was dead. In time, my faith was confirmed. He sought me out and told me what really happened. I swore my loyalty to him on the spot. I revere him as a teacher, and I revere him. Even when he ordered me to distant lands, my loyalty never wavered. But I am tired. I long for an end to my service. Sun Li is a great man, driven by greater goals and ideals. Sometimes his gaze is lifted so high that he does not see what is right in front of him. We who serve him are sometimes forgotten, left to toil in obscurity until the time to act is thrust upon us. So it was with me, waiting for you. I cannot. I have done my part. I have given Sun Li my loyalty and devotion. Now I am empty. I have nothing left. I see an end to my long service. I welcome it. I will give you what guidance and information I can, but that is all I will do. That would be a question for him, wouldn't it? I can only say that Sun Li devoted his life to raising you, to one day right the wrongs in the Jade Empire. If he wanted to keep some small part of his own life and thoughts for himself, who are you to question that? Everyone must have their private side. My assignment is to give you information to help you acquire the amulet. I will gladly answer whatever questions I can. It is said that the water dragon is the shepherd of the dead and a symbol of life and restoration. Beyond that is philosophy and not for a soldier to know. As you see, I know little about the celestial powers. I knew less before Sun Li asked this service of me. I thought such beings were beyond physical assault. I was mistaken. I don't know how the attack was made or what blade could cut the heart from a god, but I do know that any man who would attempt such a plan is arrogant beyond imagining. Remember, go to the ruins and claim the amulet before the Lotus Assassins do. You will need it to survive the trials that lie ahead.
pretty.
Wo afaweer sun urk fonir uk. Uxiel sa fit krup wo sarkiel.
Put that sword back, lout! Surely there was never a minister as unlucky as Minister Sheng to suffer such insolence.
Koni onayu tashika wheel fonil sataraponi?
And still poor Minister Sheng suffers the insults of tradesmen who know nothing of justice. Where would I put the lout? My jail has been burned to the ground, along with my office, I might add. I have no place to put thieves, so stop questioning your betters. It is not easy to be Minister Sheng, beset with troubles and doom, and now interrupted by some difficult stranger. Truly, can you not see that I am busy watching my career slide into oblivion? Minister Sheng simply hasn't time for your petty concerns. I have problems of my own. The Ministry of Harmony, which oversees taxation and execution, usually in that order. But poor Minister Sheng oversees nothing in this dying town. Nothing but failure. This backwater pimple of a town lives off of the lake created by the Great Dam. But the Great Dam is open and the lake is dry. The town is dying. Under my supervision. I have nary a clue. Unless... Oh, very well, you've convinced me to talk. It is dangerous to say anything, but I am a brave man. It was that horrible Inquisitor, Lim. Lim oversees the Lotus Assassin operations in this area. A few weeks ago, he came to town and demanded a key to the ruins. Then his men went up there and opened the Great Dam. Inquisitor Lim has his assassins searching for something, though what it is I couldn't say. Minister Sheng knows better than to stick his nose in the business of the Lotus Assassins. I didn't want the town to panic, so I kept Lim's presence here a secret. Better the peasants think it was ghosts. A much less terrifying idea. Some brave soul must travel through the old ruins, which are absolutely not infested with ghosts, and close the Great Dam. The gate to the ruins is locked, but I have a key. I cannot order or even ask someone to go do this. If the Great Dam closes, the ruins will flood. Various assassins and soldiers will be killed. Not good for my career. But if I happen to lose the key and someone happened to find it, the town could be saved and the problem solved without any sanction from me. What are you talking about? I haven't given you anything. Although I will need that back when you're done. Oh, and I am certainly not going to tell you that the ruins can be reached by heading across the footbridge and out the west gate of town. It wouldn't be proper. Minister Sheng remembers when flyers were reserved for the wealthy elite of the Imperial City. Now pirates use them to raid the countryside. Disgraceful. I suppose in theory you could find a flyer at the pirate camp upriver. In practice, however, I doubt you would find the pirates very accommodating. I suppose Rue the bosun is mad enough to take you if he's drunk. Yes. Rue is surely the only one who would make the trip. And then the pirates would kill you. Rue announced 3 days ago that he was going to close the Great Dam, but first he stopped at the tea house for a bowl of wine. As far as I know, he's still there. I recently saw a large fleet of flyers pass by. Minister Sheng held out hope that they had come to escort him away from this demeaning post and back to the Imperial City. But the flyers never stopped in Tien's Landing. They headed upriver, towards the pirates' camp. No doubt they went there to refuel, though where they are now I could not say. The pirates are just one more affliction that plagues this troubled town, and yet another headache for poor Minister Sheng. They raid the surrounding countryside, swooping down with their flyers to capture slaves. Do you know how bad it looks when someone under my jurisdiction is captured by slavers? Fortunately, they haven't attacked the town itself yet. Gao, the man I hear is running them, knows that would draw too much attention. The drunks clogging up the streets aren't pirates. They're only traveling merchants, sailors who were trapped here when the dam was opened. Minister Sheng finds them to be an annoyance, but not a concern worth worrying about. If the dam is closed, they will simply disappear, not like Gao and his pirates. Yes, I believe that was his name. Gao, an unsavory character by all accounts. There are even rumors he is connected to that infamous crime syndicate known as the Guild. The pirates have been operating in this area for many years, or so I was told. However, things became much more serious when Gao took over. The pirates started using flyers and gathering slaves at an enormous rate. I imagine things are very unpleasant over at their camp. Not that I'm willing to go take a look. Are you accusing Minister Sheng of neglecting this problem? It's not that easy. One can't simply point and say, the pirates are over there. Well, actually, one can. But the only approach is by river, and no sane bargeman would be willing to risk such a journey. Sane people don't go looking for the pirates, they avoid them. I suppose Rue the bosun is mad enough to take you if he's drunk. Yes, Rue is surely the only one who would make the trip. And then the pirates would kill you. Oh yes, let's. But nothing would please Minister Sheng more. Certainly. Let us discourse on a variety of topics. It isn't as if Minister Sheng has anything better to do. What shall we talk about? Ah, my favorite subject. Ask, and Sheng, Imperial Minister of Harmony for this entire region, will let you bask in the glory that is me. Don't! Why, how dare... Yes, you are right. I am minister of this bleeding pus pool of a town. And yes, it is because I am in disfavor. Are you through? Because you haven't yet picked on my appearance or my family history. Why stop short of completely obliterating the last little bit of dignity to which Minister Sheng clings? Woe to Sheng that his sole ally is an uneducated simpleton. The Ministry of Harmony oversees taxes and executions for this entire region. Judge Fang, the Chief Minister of Harmony, he didn't want me anywhere near the seat of power. He sent me here, an exile as unjust as any in the history of the Empire. Jealousy! You see, by the rosters of the Imperial bureaucracy, I am next in line for Fang's job. It was only a matter of time until Minister Sheng ascended to his position. Fang does not think much of me, so he banished me to this remote branch of the Ministry of Harmony. Now one of his lackeys will take my rightful position as his successor. The shame! Since the Great Dam opened and the lake drained, there has been a ship trapped in port and the sailors are growing increasingly rowdy. Some of them got drunk and set fire to the Ministry of Harmony's office. That is the ruin of it over there. What can be done? The sailors want to leave as badly as the town wants them gone. But until the dam is closed, their ship isn't going anywhere. I'm sure Captain Ing down by the pier would offer you some sort of reward to close the Great Dam and free his ship. But that is what we in the Ministry of Harmony call a hint. The humiliation that a dread and mighty lord such as I should be reduced to answering the questions of simple folk. Oh, please, ask away. Minister Sheng, that's Imperial Minister Sheng of the Ministry of Harmony, has nothing better to do than act as your guide to local customs. A ship was in port when the Great Dam opened and the river drained. Now it is trapped here. The sailors behaved for a time, but now they've gone mad with boredom. I'm sure Captain Ing, down by the pier, would offer you some sort of reward to close the Great Dam and free his vessel. But that is what we in the Ministry of Harmony call a hint. Minister Sheng may be banished to this festering boil of a town, but I refuse to learn anything of its history. There is far too much for me to worry about as it is. Ask your questions of the old fool who crouches on the north side of the square, muttering to himself about the old days. Minister Sheng needs doers, not askers. What has happened to the helpful but silent peasant that was once a staple of the Empire? It is true I am knowledgeable and well-traveled. Very well, let me elucidate. A giant among men, superb, the best emperor ever. Surely he will soon allow me to return to the Imperial City. Surely. Of course, I hold all the Emperor's advisors in the highest esteem. Death's Hand serves the Emperor, as do we all. He is a trifle terrifying, however. But I respect him. Oh, yes, I respect him so very, very much. Oh, I miss it so. And it misses me, I am sure. A grand place, but I fear I shall never see it again. Even the mention of the name brings sorrow to Minister Sheng's heart. Please, let us discuss some other topic. Recollecting the grandeur of the Imperial City in these mean and meager surroundings is too cruel a tragedy to bear. Yes, yes, go and leave Minister Sheng alone to ponder his troubles. Now go close the Great Dam, and I never said that.
Lord Yun has put out a call for aid. Will none of you answer? Finally, someone approaches me. I was worried that this town's courage had drained away with the water. You seem a woman who knows her way around a battlefield. Are you willing to put those skills to the test? Not personally, no. On behalf of Lord Yun, I'm here to find a skilled warrior who can deal with a unique problem. The Great Southern Forest, which lies north of this village, suffers from a terrible disease. Every tree within its borders sickens, and the place is infested with ghosts of all manners. If we did, would I be here? Lord Yun, my master, seeks a way to open the forest again and make it safe for travel. He is prepared to reward whoever aids him. Our men are no match for the ghosts in the forest. Perhaps you are. As I said, the trees in the Great Southern Forest sicken, and the paths fill with vicious ghosts. No caravan dares to travel its depths, cutting off huge sections of the south from the Empire's heart, and Lord Yun collects no taxes when no one travels his lands. You must leave Tien's landing via the gate and follow the roadway to the north. The forest is but a short journey away, and Lord Yun makes his camp at the base of a hill, which should be easy to find. The path there is relatively safe, but travel beyond his camp and things worsen considerably. Go safely, and remember what I've said. Lord Yun needs the help of able warriors like yourself.
Wosiwania sa ia sakaku usawa ia nu pakpoporo. Okniko fia apania sa tatasi noni nano yok yowia sonsi ia wo yowia. Okniko fia apania sa tatasi noni nano yok yowia sonsi ia wo yowia. Ni wupa ia kupu sa ia ewath kraka ia nano uksaro isowak mikano wo napia shatia uko. Ni wu sosawa ia wak tasi noni nano yopa napia ifa ia ok. Ni wupa ia kupu sa ia ewath kraka ia nano uksaro isowak mikano wo napia shatia uko. Okniko fia apania sa tatasi noni nano yok yowia sonsi ia wo yowia. Wo noa ea sususatia sonsi fonia sonsi ifo. O ifo ia uksonko noko isansia. Okniko fia apania sa tatasi noni nano yok yowia sonsi ia wo yowia. Kutkosi wiwa ia wo nova ia ifo ia o tau wikino.
Silver of this magnitude could help us in our efforts. Do not turn away from it lightly.
Piershat uk ni uksa ia sun puno kahon wo ushashia uksa hiaka. Awath utkua wo kokopia kawa ia elwo.
If you've come to complain about my men, I don't want to hear it. When Minister Sheng gets the Great Dam closed, we'll be happy to leave. Until then, we're stuck here. I'm Captain Ing. This is my ship, the Lucky Knight. She's a fine vessel, or was. But now that the Great Dam is open, the Lucky Knight is stranded here along with me and my men. We're sailors. We don't belong on land. If we could just get our ship back on the water, everything would be fine. But that won't happen until someone finds a way to close the dam. If I leave the ship, my men will have Tien's landing in flames. The locals think the dam is haunted, and Minister Sheng can't find anyone brave enough to risk closing it. The moment I saw you, I knew you were the fearless sort. I hoped you would offer to help. It shames me to need the help of a stranger.
Must be something in the way you carry yourself. Everywhere we go, people ask you to do dangerous things. Remind me not to go anywhere with you.
I'm not a rich man, but my reputation, my ship, and my men are worth everything I can give. Close the dam and free us, and I'll give you all the silver I have. You won't get too far if you don't speak to Minister Sheng first. The dam is located in the ruins, but a pair of massive gates blocks the way. Only Sheng has the key. Excellent. The key will get you into the ruins where you can close the Great Dam. I hope to see the water rising soon. Good luck. I'm not used to needing help from others. It's hard for me to say this, but thank you.